You are going blind, slowly, quietly. And your eye doctor probably hasn't told you why. Not because they don't care, but because what's happening inside your eyes right now has nothing to do with glasses, nothing to do with screens, and everything to do with something that started decades before you noticed any problem at all. My name is Dr. Luna Mercer, and I have sat across from thousands of patients in my career. Smart people, healthy people, people who exercise, eat well, take their vitamins, and I have watched their vision slip away anyway because nobody told them the one thing I'm about to tell you right now. There are proteins living inside your eye lens at this very moment that your body made before you were born, before your first breath, before your first heartbeat was even fully formed. Your mother's womb built those proteins, and your body has never, not once, made new ones to replace them. Those same proteins have been sitting inside your lens for your entire life. Every decade, every year, every single day, they absorb damage, and they cannot be repaired. They cannot be replaced. Once they go, they are gone. That foggy blur when you wake up in the morning, that is those proteins, those halos you see around streetlights when you're driving home at night. Those proteins, that film across your vision that you blink and blink and blink, and it just never quite clears. That is 60, 70, 80 years of quiet damage finally becoming visible. And here is what stops most people cold when I tell them in my office. By the time you notice any symptom at all, that damage has been building silently for 20, sometimes 30 years. You were not warned. Nobody connected those dots for you. Until today. Because today I'm going to tell you about 6 seeds, 6 things you can buy right now, today, at any grocery store within driving distance of your home. Each one contains specific compounds that feed the exact biological system your lens proteins are running out of. And by the time I finish explaining what these seeds do and why they work, you will never look at your morning routine the same way again. But before we get there, I need to show you something, because understanding what is happening inside your eye is going to change everything about how you hear what comes next. Most people think the eye is like any other organ. Blood flows in, nutrients arrive, repairs happen. That is how your heart works, your liver, your kidneys. But your lens is not like any of those. Your lens has no blood supply, not reduced blood supply. 0. There is not a single blood vessel running through it. It is completely, deliberately isolated from your circulatory system, and it has been that way since the moment it formed. So how does it survive? How does it keep those irreplaceable proteins clean and clear for decades? It runs on its own internal chemistry. A compound called glutathione, and in a young lens, glutathione is abundant. The concentration inside a healthy young lens is among the highest found anywhere in the human body. As long as glutathione stays high, your lens proteins remain separated, remain clear, remain functional. Light enters, passes straight through, lands perfectly on your retina. The world looks sharp, but something happens in your 50s that almost no patient has ever heard of before they sit in my office. A physical barrier begins forming around the nucleus of your lens, the deep core center of it. That barrier slowly chokes off the glutathione supply to the exact location where the most serious damage accumulates. Your lens core starts running on empty. It starts starving for its own protection while you are sitting at dinner, while you are reading, while you feel completely, perfectly fine. And without that glutathione shield, those unprotected proteins begin to unfold. They clump, they tangle with each other, they stop transmitting light and start scattering it. And that scattering is what you eventually feel as blur, fog, halo, and that maddening film that no amount of blinking fixes. Now here is the part that changed how I practice medicine. That entire process, the glutathione loss, the oxidative damage spreading through the lens, the protein clumping, all of it is directly influenced by what you eat. Specific antioxidants, specific fatty acids, specific compounds found in foods that most people walk past in the grocery store without a second glance. Cataract surgery is the single most performed surgery on this planet. Every year, millions of people go under the knife for a condition that dietary research suggests could be significantly delayed with the right nutritional support. One study calculated that delaying cataract onset by just 10 years could cut its incidence in half. Half the surgeries, half the recoveries, half the people sitting in darkened recovery rooms wishing someone had told them sooner. I am telling you now. Let's go through the seeds. The first one, sesame seeds, and I need you to stay with me here even if you already eat them, because there is something about sesame seeds that is quietly undermining every benefit they carry. Sesame seeds contain zinc. Your retina depends on zinc to activate the enzymes that protect your photoreceptors and to pull vitamin A from your liver into your eye tissue where it actually does something. Sesame seeds also contain copper and real, absorbable vitamin E. These are not trivial nutrients. These are compounds your eyes are actively asking for every single day. But sesame seeds also contain something called phytic acid, and phytic acid does one specific frustrating thing inside your digestive system. It binds minerals. Zinc, copper, everything good inside those seeds, phytic acid grabs it before your gut wall ever gets the chance to absorb it. The entire nutritional package travels through you and exits without entering your bloodstream. You chew, you swallow, you feel virtuous, and a meaningful portion of what you paid for never reaches your eyes. The fix is embarrassingly simple. Dry roast them. A pan, medium heat, 3 minutes. You will know they are ready when that warm, nutty smell rises up from the pan. That heat dismantles the phytic acid structure. It unlocks the minerals. Now your body can absorb what those seeds actually contain. A small handful on a salad, on eggs, on anything you were already eating, less than $2 a month. But I want to be honest with you. Sesame seeds are a flaw. They slow the damage. They do not reverse it. They are not the reason I made this video. The seeds ahead on this list operate on a completely different level. The next seed is pumpkin seeds, and this is the one that troubles me most for people who have been eating them for years, because there is a very good chance you have been getting half of what they actually contain. Inside pumpkin seeds are 2 compounds that your macula, the very center of your visual field, the part responsible for reading, for recognizing faces, for everything you look at directly, concentrates on purpose. Lutein and zeaxanthin. Your macula is literally yellow because of these compounds. Your eye collects them deliberately, stores them deliberately, uses them to filter damaging light and neutralize oxidative damage at the most critical point in your entire visual system. Decades of large-scale research have linked higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin to meaningfully lower risk of age-related macular degeneration progressing. These are not fringe supplements. These are compounds your eye was architecturally designed to seek out and accumulate. Pumpkin seeds also contain more zinc per ounce than nearly any other seed available. So when I tell you what comes next, I want you to feel the weight of it. If you have been eating pumpkin seeds raw from a bag, roasted from a bag, salted, flavored, any version you grab off a shelf, you have been absorbing roughly half of what those seeds contain. Because pumpkin seeds carry even more phytic acid than sesame seeds, and it locks up the lutein, the zeaxanthin, the zinc, all of it, and walks it right out of your body before your cells ever see it. The preparation takes 1 bowl and 8 hours of waiting while you sleep. The night before, put your pumpkin seeds in water, squeeze half a lemon in, stir once, leave it. The citric acid from that lemon chemically neutralizes the phytic acid coating. In the morning, you drain them, rinse them, and eat them as they are, or dry them briefly in a low oven. That is it. 1 step. Done the night before. And suddenly, the seeds you thought you were eating are actually feeding you. Now we arrive at the seed that genuinely frustrates me because it is sitting right next to the chia and flax on every health food shelf, and almost nobody is picking it up. Hemp seeds. While the nutrition world argues endlessly about chia versus flax, hemp seeds are delivering something no other seed on this list can match alone. And to understand why, I need to explain something about your retina that most people have never heard. Your retina is neural tissue. It is the same class of cells as your brain. Same vulnerabilities, same sensitivities, same hatred of chronic inflammation. When low-level inflammation reaches your retinal layers, which it does in almost every adult eating a modern diet, cell membranes weaken. Signal transmission between your photoreceptors and your brain slows. Your vision degrades in ways that no standard eye chart will catch until the structural damage is already significant and already real. The single most important nutritional variable controlling that inflammation is the ratio between two types of fat, omega-6 and omega-3. The modern Western diet runs that ratio somewhere between 15 and 20 to 1, overwhelmingly tilted toward omega-6. The human body evolved to function optimally somewhere near 3 or 4 to 1. That gap between where you are and where your biology wants to be creates a continuous, low-level inflammatory state throughout your body, every organ, every tissue layer, including the neural tissue behind your eyes, every single day. Hemp seeds have a naturally occurring omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of approximately 3 to 1. No other common seed you can purchase at a grocery store comes that close to what your body is asking for. A large meta-analysis reviewing 19 randomized controlled trials and more than 4,000 patients confirmed that correcting this fatty acid imbalance produces measurable reductions in the inflammatory markers driving dry eye disease. The burning, the gritty irritation that peaks in the afternoon, the feeling that your eyes are working against you, that is inflammation, and hemp seeds are one of the most efficient dietary tools available to address it. No soaking required, no grinding required. 2 tablespoons directly into yogurt, directly into a smoothie, and you are done. The simplest seed on this entire list and one of the most impactful. Now we reach the seed I warned you about at the very beginning, the one where the gap between what most people are doing and what actually works is the largest. Chia seeds. Let me tell you the biology first because it matters enormously. Your retina is not merely supported by a fatty acid called DHA. It is structurally built from it. DHA makes up a major portion of the actual physical tissue your vision depends on. When DHA is chronically undersupplied, which it is in most adults eating plant-based or low seafood diets, the structural integrity of your retinal layers quietly erodes. Cell membranes thin. The architecture of your visual system weakens from the inside, over years, in ways that produce no dramatic warning, no sudden alarm, just a slow, steady dimming. Chia seeds are among the richest plant-based sources of ALA, the plant precursor your body converts into DHA. Research from a large meta-analysis of 19 randomized trials confirmed that omega-3 intake produces measurable improvement in tear film breakup time. That is the clinical measurement of how long your eye's surface stays stable between blinks. When that number is low, every blink feels incomplete. There is always something there, always a subtle grittiness, a subtle burn, that sensation of something in my eye that you cannot locate and cannot remove, because it is not a piece of dust. It is inflammation at the surface of your eye. And here is where millions of people are quietly wasting every single chia seed they eat. If you eat chia seeds whole, which is how almost everyone eats them, stirred into smoothies, sprinkled on oatmeal, mixed into water as a gel, the outer shell of the seed resists your digestive enzymes. Your gut cannot crack it open efficiently. Those seeds pass through your system substantially intact, and you absorb a fraction, sometimes a very small fraction, of what you consumed. You are eating the package and leaving the contents untouched. Grind them. A coffee grinder, 10 seconds, right before you eat them. Not the night before. Not from a pre-ground bag sitting in a pantry where the omega-3 fatty acids have been slowly oxidizing since the moment someone cracked that seal. Grind them yourself, that morning, fresh, and eat them with fat in the same meal. DHA is fat-soluble. Without a fat source present, absorption drops significantly. A drizzle of olive oil, half an avocado, a tablespoon of coconut oil in a smoothie. Any quality fat, same meal, same sitting. The surface relief from properly prepared chia can come within 1 week for some people. The structural retinal support that comes from consistent DHA delivery takes 60 to 90 days. But the morning dryness, the afternoon grind against your eyes, many people notice that softening faster than they expected. Now the seed that surprised me most when I went through the research, the one I did not expect to find at this position, freshly ground flaxseed paired with avocado. Flaxseed contains more alpha-linolenic acid per gram than any other plant source on earth. More than chia, more than hemp, more than anything else I have mentioned today. 1 tablespoon of freshly ground flax delivers roughly 2,300 milligrams of plant omega-3. Chia, which most people consider the gold standard, gives you approximately 1,700 milligrams for the same serving. Every single morning, that difference compounds. Over weeks and months, that gap in your intake becomes a gap in what your retinal tissue has available to maintain itself. The Women's Health Study, one of the largest and most rigorous long-term nutrition studies ever conducted, followed nearly 40,000 women and found that higher dietary omega-3 intake was significantly associated with reduced risk of dry eye syndrome. Flaxseed is the most concentrated plant-based path to that intake level. The avocado is not garnish, it is not optional, it is doing biochemistry. The monounsaturated oleic acid in avocado has been specifically identified in bioavailability research as one of the most effective fat carriers for enhancing absorption of fat-soluble compounds. The avocado is not completing the meal, it is unlocking the flaxseed. 2 rules, and I need you to hear both of them clearly because ignoring either one dismantles everything. Grind it fresh that morning. Not the previous evening, not from a pre-ground bag. Whole flax seeds in a grinder, 10 seconds, right before you sit down to eat. And eat it within 15 minutes. The clock starts the moment you crack those seeds open and expose the interior to oxygen. After 15 minutes, meaningful oxidation has begun, and you are losing potency with every passing minute. 2 tablespoons on half a ripe avocado every morning. That combination is extraordinarily powerful, but there is one thing it cannot do, and that one thing is what puts the next seed above it. The number 1 seed on this list did not surprise me because of what it contains. It surprised me because of what it does after you eat it, how long it keeps working, and why the combination it creates inside your lens tissue is unlike anything else on this list. Raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, 1 ounce. A small, easy handful. And the combination I'm about to describe costs less than 85 cents a serving. Sunflower seeds carry more vitamin E per ounce than almost any food you can purchase at a standard grocery store. 1 ounce delivers close to half your daily recommended intake of alpha-tocopherol, the specific form of vitamin E your body absorbs first and uses preferentially. And vitamin E does not work on your eyes in a general supportive way. It is targeted. It positions itself inside the membranes of the lens, fiber cells, the very cells housing those irreplaceable proteins that were built before you were born. It sits there and it intercepts oxidative damage before that damage ever reaches the proteins. It is not cleanup, it is prevention at the cellular membrane level. A meta-analysis published in Public Health Nutrition, pooling data from multiple cohort studies and clinical trials, found that dietary vitamin E intake was significantly associated with reduced risk of age-related cataract development. The protection was strongest, specifically in the lens nucleus, the deep core where damage accumulates the longest and where surgery eventually becomes the only remaining option. The avocado in this combination is doing the same work it does with the flaxseed. Vitamin E is fat-soluble. Without dietary fat present in the same meal, a substantial portion of what you consume passes through before your body can absorb and deploy it. The oleic acid in avocado is the optimal delivery mechanism. But the lemon. This is the mechanism that places this combination above everything else on this list, and I want you to understand it completely. When a vitamin E molecule does its job, when it intercepts a free radical inside your lens and neutralizes it, the vitamin E gets oxidized in the process. used up. Under normal circumstances, that molecule is finished. One job done, one molecule gone, the supply slowly depletes. Vitamin C changes that equation entirely. Research on the biochemical interaction between vitamin C and vitamin E has confirmed that vitamin C takes that spent, oxidized vitamin E molecule and chemically reduces it back to its active form. It regenerates it. It puts it back to work. Your single morning serving of vitamin E is not delivering a fixed dose and depleting. It is cycling. It is regenerating inside your lens tissue, continuing to intercept oxidative damage for hours after you ate it, because the vitamin C from that lemon is continuously restoring it. You are not simply delivering an antioxidant. You are building a self-sustaining antioxidant system inside your eye lens. One dose, one meal, one biochemical partnership working for hours. 1 ounce of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, quarter of a ripe avocado, juice of half a fresh lemon squeezed directly over everything. All 3, same plate, same meal, every single morning. Check the label of your sunflower seeds before you buy them. 1 ingredient. Sunflower seeds. If there is anything else listed, put it back and find a bag with 1 ingredient. Now let me tell you what consistent daily use of this full protocol actually feels like. Because I want you to have a timeline so you know what to watch for and you do not give up before the deeper work happens. In the first 3 days, the heavy, gritty, tired feeling your eyes carry by evening, the feeling you have started accepting as just how eyes feel after a full day, that begins to ease. Not dramatically, subtly, but noticeably if you are paying attention. By the end of the first week, your morning blurriness, that fog when you first open your eyes, starts clearing faster. The window between waking and seeing clearly begins to shrink. By 2 to 3 weeks, reading the small print on labels, seeing your phone screen without squinting in dim light, reading a menu in a restaurant without tilting it toward the candle, those things become a little easier, a little less effortful. By 90 days, the halos around headlights at night begin calming. Contrast improves. Colours, particularly under artificial light, look slightly more vivid than they have in years. And some of my patients have come back from their follow-up appointments and told me quietly, almost uncertainly, that their optometrist said something unexpected, that the numbers did not move the way they were projected to, that the progression was slower than anticipated. 90 days is the structural window. Dry eye surface relief comes faster. The deeper lens work takes time. This is not a fast fix because vision did not decline fast, but the progression is real, and it is measurable, and it begins the morning you start. 3 mistakes that undo everything, and I see all 3 constantly. Do not drink coffee or tea within 90 minutes of eating your seeds. The tannins in both drinks bind zinc and minerals and physically intercept the compounds you just delivered. Coffee after. Always after. Never before or during. Do not eat your seeds in the evening. Fat-soluble compound absorption follows a circadian rhythm. Your body absorbs these nutrients measurably better in the morning window. Every single morning. Not some mornings. Every morning. And do not stop after 2 weeks because you have not seen the result you expected. Dry eye symptoms respond within days. Structural lens protection is a 60 to 90 day biological process. The vitamin E research on cataract risk was measured over 18 months. Stopping at 2 weeks is like planting a seed, coming back 3 days later, and deciding seeds do not grow. The process is happening whether or not you can feel it yet. These seeds support your biology. They work alongside your medical care, not instead of it. Do not adjust or discontinue any prescribed medication without speaking to your doctor. What I am describing is nutritional support for a biological process, and it belongs in your life alongside professional care, not in place of it. Here is what I want you to do right now before this video ends. Think of 3 specific vision complaints, not general concerns, specific ones. The exact thing that bothers you most in the morning, The exact thing that makes night driving feel uncertain. The exact moment in your day when your eyes feel like they are failing you. Write those 3 things down. Score each one from 0 to 10. Put that paper somewhere, you will find it in 30 days. Tomorrow morning, before anything else, before your coffee, before your phone, 1 ounce of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds, 1/4 of a ripe avocado, and half a lemon squeezed over everything. Eat them together. That is your starting point. Your vision did not decline in a week. It will not rebuild in a week. But the proteins inside your lens are waiting, right now, for the raw materials that can slow this down. The grocery store has everything on this list. The total cost is less than $1 a day. And the biology is ready to respond the moment you give it what it has been asking for. Start tomorrow morning. And if you are starting, say so. Come back in 30 days and tell me what changed. I will be here.